Hey, it's Lynn Brown. Welcome to the Gritty Women Global Podcast, episode 122. I'm a results coach. Now, prior to this, the first half of my life, I was literally trapped by the opinions of others. And then in my spare time, I was a world-class people pleaser. I was consumed with what other people thought. I wasted so much time on that. It would have served me so much better to have focused on what I thought about myself rather than thinking that people were actually talking about me or thinking about me. Because honestly, guys, they're really not thinking about us as much as we think they are. So all my energy was spent on trying to change what others thought or what I thought they thought. And then I finally got it. Duh. It took me, the first half of my life, but I finally realized I can only control what I think about me. So that's where all my work started. But until we become aware of what needs to change, we're going to remain stuck. And I don't know if you've ever been stuck before, but I'm sure you would agree with me. Being stuck stinks. So today we're going to talk about what happens when life shows up and knocks you off your feet. You get that unexpected blow, when the stuff hits the fan. A lot of times we experience trauma, grief, financial loss, health issues, job loss. Whatever the issue is, whatever the thing is, we camp there in the emotion of it all. We stay there. We're unable to move forward because it's like being mentally paralyzed by our own thinking. So getting stuck in the problem is not going to move you forward. There's something called a thought loop. So oftentimes we just get stuck in this rehearsal of these thought loops. And they're subtle, they're sneaky. But when you begin, like the second you begin to focus on the problem, you prevent yourself from moving forward. But the great news is that we can learn to shift our thinking. We can pivot. And to me, the very first step in recognizing that our default behavior is not serving us is that we have to become aware of the thinking, our very best thinking that's holding us back. It's kind of like breaking a horse. If you've ever been around anybody that has a farm, or you might have horses, but when you're trying to break a horse, it takes time. It takes consistent training. Or maybe you're teaching a dog new tricks, whatever your thing is. But it's not going to happen overnight. But it will happen if you stick to the process. So instead of really thinking about the outcome you'd like to experience, think about, what the possibilities are. I have a question for you. Just think about this for a minute. Because a lot of times when I'm coaching and if I ask somebody, a question, they're like, I just don't know. So let me ask you this. If you did know what to do, what would you do? If there was one thing that you could do today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next, Happy New Year, January 1st, 2023. I'm talking about today. What is one thing you could do to move you closer? To move you in the direction of your dream. Because in order for you to step into your purpose and to be in alignment with who you are and who you were created to be and to do here, anything that's not in alignment with what and who you are has no place in your life. You're going to have to leave it behind. Changing, some of my circles was not easy. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. And honestly, y'all, this sounds kind of tough, but we have to get over the fact that it's going to be easy, because guess what? The truth of it is, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. Saying no was not easy for me. Still to this day, I struggle with it. If somebody needs me to do something and it's not really in alignment with where I'm going, whether it's a beach trip or, speaking somewhere or doing whatever. If it's not in alignment with where I'm going, I have got to say no. And like I said, it's not easy. But the best thing that you can do here is Be quick on your feet. Fast is best here. The minute you're aware that you're in a place that is not challenging you, or you're in a place that is not serving you or not in alignment, move out, pivot. Navy SEALs, they fascinate me. They're like the toughest people in the world to me. And they're trained from day one. The second they are aware that they are on the X, that means that they're in trauma, that the stuff has hit the fan, whatever it is. So just imagine whatever your X is. But the minute that they are there, they immediately begin to mentally fight, to rehearse, and to hold on to the image of them in a place that they know that they can get to. And we have to do the same thing. We have to mentally fight for the places that we want to move, the places that we want to go, the new thoughts that we want to think. For several years, I dealt with anxiety and panic attacks. But y'all, I didn't even really know what they were. I know that sounds crazy too, probably to some of you, but honestly, I was aware I felt funny. I was aware that I felt off, but I did not know that they were triggered by certain emotions or certain things. And I did not know that that it was anxiety and panic attacks. So of course, what is the number one go-to thing? Self-medicate. So that was my first option too. One way I did this was increasing my alcohol intake. I thought, well, I just need to calm down. And then as the anxiety progressed and panic attacks progressed, my sleep was disrupted, and I was put on several different anti-anxiety meds. And then finally one day it just hit me. This option was not solving the root problem. There was just something wrong with the foundation that I had built. My system for handling trauma, or handling when the stuff hits the fan, or handling, when I found myself on the X, my system that I had was broken. And in order for me to get a different result, I had to fix that system. So I had to change that playlist in my mind. I had to create the new thoughts. I had to see myself on the other side of anxiety. I had to learn to actually change my state. Sometimes I had to actually physically get up and move and change my state. I learned breathing techniques. I've memorized so much scripture through the years, and I have a playlist that I play in my mind when I feel myself moving toward, worry or self-doubt. Physical activity is so good for our bodies and our brains and our emotions. So every day, that's a non-negotiable. I created this habit of daily working out. And I will tell you that for me, these tools and techniques that I implemented, and I'm constantly tweaking them and always working on my total health and wellness, but all these things together have helped me to overcome anxiety. Now, on rare occasions, I might recognize, like I said, a trigger or feel a twinge of anxiety, but I would just shift my mindset. I take action. I move out. I move something. I no longer fall into that trap. Most people try to push, they try to push through the fear. They try to push through the guilt. They try to push through the shame. And all that will do is just wear you down. It's not really about pushing through. It's about shifting from. It's about learning how to pivot from it so it no longer controls you. And when you have a clear picture of your vision, and when you have a totally clear picture of what it is you desire, your heart. I mean, we hear it so much, your why, but it's so true. When you really know that, when that one thing becomes more important than shrinking back into comfort, then and only then will you begin living the life that you were designed to live. And honestly, we've heard this a million times, but it's so true. You have two options. You're either going to live your life by design or default. And unfortunately, y'all, there are a bunch of people living a life of default. I wish there was this awesome cheerleading squad complete with megaphones and shakers and just all the cheerleading squad things. I wish there was one coming to you. I wish they could cheer you on and pump you up and keep you moving forward. But I gotta tell y'all this, y'all, nobody's coming to do it for you. It's a you and you deal. And you know what? Honestly, you're your best cheerleader anyway. Now here's the deal. If I can create new routines and build new systems and overcome the broken mindset that I did, guess what? You can too. And you know what's funny? Just like we can get addicted to reaching into the potato chip bag or addicted to negative self-talk, we can get addicted to positive routines and a life that you don't, dread. So many people, I think, are addicted to routines in life that they don't even like. And that sounds crazy, but it happens a lot. There are people that every day get in their cars and go to work, and they dread it when they pull up in the parking lot. They start looking at their watch at lunchtime going, oh, only so-and-so more hours or whatever. They're counting down the days. They dread going, and they can't wait to leave. But in order for this to change, in order for us to create a different result, we got to show up differently. And yes, this is going to be a little bit scary. It is. And yes, guess what? You're going to fail. There's no way to avoid failure. It is a constant companion to success, but it's how we learn, and we are failing forward. So just, y'all, we got to stop thinking this thing is supposed to be so easy. It's just not, but it's going to be so worth it. So today, I want to challenge you to this. I want you to start where you are. I want you to do what you can with what you have. And guess what? Just in case you're saying, Lynn, you have no idea. I ain't got nothing. Well, guess what? You can also start with nothing. You sure can. You can start at zero, flat zero. My gritty sisters, it's time for you to throw down the old and step into the new. Don't let the trauma, the grief, the sadness, the loss become your truth. And don't let your excuses for where you are in life become your truth either. Sometimes we say things so much over and over and over again till we believe them. And your brain really doesn't know the truth. Whatever you tell your brain, it believes. So it can be a lie or it can be truth. And so maybe you're just like, look, I'm empty here. I've got nothing. You don't even have any belief. Well, borrow some then. I had to borrow it. Borrow some of mine. And you know what? Honestly, I felt like a fake for a while there. I'm not really into labeling or saying, I have the imposter syndrome or anything like that. I think that we give power to that. So I don't really like to give power to that statement. But growth will change limiting beliefs. It's the only guarantee that tomorrow is going to be better. But growth changed my thoughts. And when my thoughts changed, my belief and my actions began to change simultaneously. So if I can, you can. So here's my question. What is one thing you can see that you can do right now? You can see this thing. You already know it's one thing that you can do right now to move you closer to your dream. So I want you to go do that thing. It might be as simple as finding 5 minutes of quiet time. Or it might be literally writing down your dream on a sticky note and putting it on your bathroom mirror. I don't know. Maybe you go outside and walk around the track 3 times. I don't know what your thing is. But go and do that thing. Maybe you want to write a book. Well, get out a journal and write a page. Just write for 5 minutes. Write for 60 seconds. Maybe you want to launch a podcast. You know what? Get your phone. Record it on your audio recording thing on your phone. That's a step. So until next week, remember this. Gritty is the new strong, and gritty is the new pretty. So let's go get gritty, and I'll see y'all next week. Take care. Bye-bye.